Yorushka Groan. That is the name of this song as we continue the track by track listen through to the second person album. And I don't know, I have no idea what to expect from this song, but there's something about calling a song Groan that that song is up there with like Sigh. That's a song, if you called a song Sigh. It's like that's the level of song naming. I kind of like it. I kind of like it just on some cheeky, funny level that really appeals to me. Now, obviously, this is one of these songs on the album. The majority only just, where it doesn't have a music video. So again, there's no real big clues to gather from this. I will just say we've come out of two songs that, I mean, Apodia, probably my favourite song on the album thus far. And Heavy, definitely really enjoyed that. I thought it had some clever ideas. So we were coming out of a fairly strong run of songs here, but going into the non-music video, thus I would say non-single little parts of the album, you're obviously expecting something which is either going to be more chilled out, more of an album track, or you're going to expect something which is going to be a bit more experimental. I get the feeling often with these non-single tracks on this album that they are more just kind of chilled out, more that they just kind of relax into the general formula of the album, which is this lovely, crisp sense of musical playfulness, rather than necessarily going for any big themes or big payoffs or anything like that. However, I've got to say there's been some great songs in all different parts of this album. So, I'm kind of summing up the album a little bit too soon. We're still only about 2/3 of the way through now. Are we 2/3 of the way through? We are on track 16 of 22. Wow, we've only got 6 more tracks to go. We're nearly 3/4 of the way through. Anyway, kind of sad now. Although after this, we're going to go back and check out the debut album, so I'm not sad. I'm happy because we'll get to check that out next. Anyway, let's have a go. I'm really interested to check out that debut album. I will stop talking. Let's listen to Groan. You're probably groaning right now. There's that sharp piano sound again taking the lead. He loves layering those 3 counts over the 4 counts. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And even the kick drum was doing a 3 count beat. But the song is a 4 count beat. He loves doing that. Oh, that was nice. Nice to turn around there. Ooh, nice. There's that build up. Oh, there we go. I love that really kind of assertive bass line. Kind of giving a floor to everything. And then it backs out and you just got the kick. Everything kind of stays bright and high up at this point. Even the kick separated. And then it drops down for the pre-chorus? No? Okay. This is cool, keeping everything really high up, waiting for the drop. Like it was EDM. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I'm loving the lungs. Yes. Ah, the piano, man. Oh, that piano improv is looking gorgeous. don't mind telling me what's going on right now. I really feel like we've been on a bit of a run of songs recently. I don't know, is this just me? Am I just in a good mood or something? Well, to be honest, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I actually think, no, that there is just something very interesting about how the songs that we've been listening to, these last 3 songs, Grown included, definitely feel like they have this adoration for putting together songs that have a wonderful payoff, where they really do feel that they have a direction, and it's just clicking. Like 3 songs in a row now really clicked. I'd actually say that to me, Grown, I would probably even put it above Heavy, just because of the fact that it manages to kind of go through this very interesting change. In a way, you could say it's more simplistic, but I would say actually the changes on Grown are very interesting, and yeah, the formula that underpins all of what Grown is doing is this simple idea of anticipating that chorus. It's a great chorus. The chorus itself is, I guess you'd say, a fairly rudimentary example of how to do a chorus. You get the big held note, and by the way, her lungs on this, I really love the way that she's like pushing, really pushing out the extra air on these notes and giving this beautiful anthemic loud vocal, because most of the album she's singing in quite a calm, jazzy, relatable way. This is a big anthemic song in a way, because she's giving that larger than life kind of vocal where it really sounds loud and there's a lot of presence to it. And you've got that, as I say, on a big held note over a backing which is funky, as most of this album is, but has this beautifully thick arrangement underneath, charges along, sort of a good bounce but a good tempo to it. Chorus is very strong, but the whole way that we build up to that is by having this interesting pair of verses, I guess you could say. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's pair of verses where everything stays very high up. You start off with the piano, it's very sort of high up. There's not much coming in on the bottom end. You have the kick drum, which is just kind of there to kind of add everything together and just kind of bring everything together. But everything in the verses feels quite sparse, even by the standards of an album that mostly seems to have a lot of songs with kind of airy, sparse arrangements anyway. It's not an album that's trying to stuff sounds into every single space, but this song during the verses feels very sparse. And then once you get to the end of the first chorus, you realize, oh, that's the thing. It's the contrast between this very light and kind of unsettled verse, like everything feels a bit sparse. It's very, very empty. And then bam, the chorus comes in, and it's big, anthemic, and the sound's very full. As I say, the second verse is really where you start to notice that that's actually the primary technique of this song, because in the second verse, now that it's established what the technique at play is, it then proceeds to do some really interesting things with that. Like we get the bass comes in, but the bass comes in very high. You get these interesting little changes, like at the beginning of the last chorus, we have the acoustic version, just the acoustic playing and the vocals. All of this is done to kind of prevent you getting that point where everything drops in and you get the full reward of the chorus. So this is, hilariously as this might be, because in the last song, Heavy, I actually made a comparison to like Dr. Dre productions, like California Love and all that. With this song, I'm going to actually give a comparison. It's very similar to like the old club EDM thing of waiting for the beat to drop. It's very close to that stereotype, because this is a song that kind of, it builds you up to that. It keeps you on edge. Right up to the point where you have a pre-chorus, you have the final chorus, and the final chorus starts with just acoustic guitar. A technique that is heard in so many J-rock songs. A technique that if you love Japanese music, you'll know that that's probably one of the more frequently used tactics in Japanese song arrangements. You're starting the last chorus with a breakdown where all the instruments don't come in at the same time, and then everything drops in after a few beats. This does it, but it works doubly here because it just extends a technique which has kind of been used throughout the entire song, of keeping you waiting for the bottom end of the song to come in and everything to flourish as this full sounding thick arrangement with this big anthemic held note kind of chorus. It's a simple tactic, but it's so beautifully engineered. And I even liked how during those little bits of lightness, you really got to hear how it was delivered differently. So if you listen at the beginning, it's very similar, both verses, in a lot of ways, but there are little changes made. So you listen to it first. Listen to the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what the beat's doing there. Now we got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. the kick is just landing on different points, and at the same time you've got the piano which is doing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. And of course, if you add that up, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, what do you get? 16, which is 4 times 4. So it's a 4/4 beat using little 3 counts in amongst it. It's mathematically, it makes sense. But this is what I mean, is that there's all these little subtle things. I don't like to use the phrase math rock because I always feel it's a bit bizarre, because all music has a mathematical element, and if you're a good songwriter, then just even without thinking about it, you will do things that are mathematically interesting. But this is an example of a song where I think you can kind of very front and center see how Nabuna obviously likes to play with these different counts and these different rhythms and put them atop each other to create something that has an interesting sense of being layered. And it is true, it makes the song much more engaging when you can hear multiple rhythms, even if you as a listener are not necessarily thinking of it that way or engaging it that way. It gives your brain like something nice. It's interesting for your brain. It's more re-listenable. So I feel that even in its quieter moments, this song has a kind of like fun, engaging little games it plays with you. But the net final result is a song that is just, well, it's all about paying you off in the chorus with that nice big explosion of the anthemic final crescendo. Well, the anthemic chorus both times around, but certainly, especially that final crescendo, which you have to wait extra long for. I thought this was gorgeous. Funny enough, as I say, last 3 songs, really enjoyed them. I might put Groan above Heavy. Heavy was cool, but Groan I think is more re-listenable. And I think the final chorus as well, just the whole way that comes in, hearing her singing with that much more sort of pronounced, you're hearing her really open up her lungs on this song was kind of fun as well. So yeah, Groan, I really like that. It's one of my favourites so far as well. This album's got a strong second half. I'm enjoying this. So I can't wait to see what comes next. But as always, get in the comments, tell me what you think. And until I hopefully see you very soon for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.